Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has secured her third consecutive term with a landslide victory. Bangladesh's Election Commission said on Monday, Ms. Hasina's ruling party has so far won 281 of the 350 parliamentary seats, surpassing its previous election wins. The opposition has condemned what it called a farcical election, marked by violence and claims of intimidation and vote rigging. They won just 7 seats and have demanded a vote. We urge the Election Commission to avoid this farcical result immediately, opposition leader Sheikh Hasina said. We are demanding that a fresh election is held under a neutral government as early as possible. The Bangladesh Election Commission told Reuters news agency that it had heard vote rigging allegations from across the country and would investigate. At least 70 people have been killed in clashes between the ruling party supporters and the opposition. Sheikh Hasina's Awami League has run Bangladesh since 2009, but one of the leading opposition parties has accused it of using stuffed ballot boxes. The spokesman for the Bangladesh National Party, BNP, alleged there were irregularities in 221 of the 300 seats being contested. Soon before polls opened, a BBC correspondents filled ballot boxes at a polling center in the port city of Chittagong. The presiding officer declined to comment. Only ruling party polling agents were present at that and several other polling centers in the second largest city of the country. At least 28 candidates from the main opposition alliance withdrew before polling closed, alleging vote rigging and intimidation. Activists, observers, and the opposition party had warned that the vote would not be fair, but the governing party accused the opposition of peddling false claims. Ms. Hasina told the BBC on Friday, on the one hand, they are placing allegations. On the other hand, they are attacking our party workers, leaders. That is the tragedy in this country. Yagita Limite, BBC News.com. As we went from polling booth to polling booth on Sunday, one pattern became clear. People who were supporters of Prime Minister Hasina's party were vocal and happy to answer our questions on camera about what issues they voted on. The others were mostly too scared to speak out. One man told us that several members of his extended family found that their votes had already been cast when they went to the polling booth. He said he did not think it was a fair election, but did not want to be identified. It was not hard to see why he felt intimidated. Outside every polling booth we went to, there were dozens of workers from the Prime Minister's party, listening intently when anyone was interviewed. No one from the opposition parties was visible. While the Election Commission has said it will investigate claims of vote rigging, the organization has itself been accused of bias by the opposition. So far, the Prime Minister has not responded to these latest allegations, but 2 days ago rejected claims the election was unfair. It was widely anticipated that her party would win the polls, but it will be a controversial victory. Bangladesh is a Muslim-majority nation of more than 160 million people, and faces issues ranging from possibly devastating climate change, Islamist militancy, endemic poverty and corruption. The country has recently been in the international spotlight, as hundreds of thousands of Rohingya Muslims have fled there from neighboring Myanmar. The lead-up to the election saw violence between rival supporters, and a crackdown on dissent by the government that critics say has only grown more authoritarian during its 10 years in power. Sheikh Hasina's long-term rival, Khaleda Zia, was sent to prison on corruption charges earlier this year and barred from competing in the vote. In the case, which she claimed was politically motivated. In Messiah's absence, Sheikh Hasina, who was previously both an now minister and Hasina ally, leads the main opposition grouping, the Yeti-Oika Front, which includes Messiah's Bangladesh National Party, BOP. However, the 81-year-old lawyer, who drew up the country's constitution, did not stand in the election. The BOP boycotted the last vote in 2014, making Sunday's poll the first to involve all the major parties in 10 years. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park, in eastern Hainan province said it would waive the $9, 65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. Use Huawei phones. Shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shannon Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success and bliss." The offer would last until 29 December. The South China Morning Post reported, but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a border in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story we covered yesterday, https://QQXL19YPQLPIC. Twitter.com Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuOceanG. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpada Shenzhen-based LED display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Meng
46
used the Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also alleged she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Meng, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying heiress. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Meng's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat and a businessman, have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. Meng if it would serve national security interests. I'll help achieve a trade deal with China if I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing. What's good for national security? I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said, a poacher has been ordered to watch the Disney film Bambi repeatedly after he was convicted of illegally killing hundreds of deer. Missouri hunter David Barry, Jr., must view the film at least once a month during his year-long sentence. He was arrested in August along with 2 family members for killing the deer, taking their heads and leaving their bodies to rot. Prosecutors said, it is reportedly one of the biggest poaching cases in Missouri history, on top of the jail sentence for the illegal deer hunting. Judge Robert George ordered Barry Jr. to view the Walt Disney movie Bambi, with the first viewing being on or before December 23.